Hello everybody, thank you for joining me one more time as we take a look at the last Sonic 3 figure that Zach sent me. This is the 2.5 inch Shadow the Hedgehog figure. It comes to us in an open box packaging and there is no character description on the back, just a picture. On the back you can see the other figures from Wave 1. The notable thing is that Sonic seems to have been given a new expression. Quick comparison. Take a look at the shape of Sonic's eyes and his mouth. Well, I have the previous figure right here. You can see that they really did change his expression for this release. It's not different enough that I would justify the expense of having it shipped to me and everything like that. But, you know, in case you want a more, what looks like a happier expression on your Sonic figure, one that's less determined, then you can go ahead and get it. But I just want to let you guys know that I kind of skipped on that one. But, you know, we're not talking about Sonic, we're talking about Shadow. So let's get movie Shadow out of here. So I'm zooming in a little bit farther because the figure is smaller. But wow, do I love this figure. It may be smaller, but all the details are still there. You got the texturing. And it's you get to actually really take a look at, you know, Shadow's model and like see how it compares to his proper game universe counterpart. I know a lot of people said that when they first saw Shadow and revealed that he just kind of looked like the proper game Shadow, given a more realistic fur texture. But if you look, he does have the differences for the movie styling. For example, he has that extra head spine, so he has 3 down the middle row instead of only 2. And he even has an extra spine in his back like Sonic does, so his spine pattern has changed exactly the same way that movie Sonic's had. And if you look, yep, he does. His eyes are designed in that way that they kind of look conjoined, but if you see, they're actually not. So, you know, he has that much in common as well. And aside from that, like, the figure's pretty basic. He has a head swivel, he has universally jointed shoulders, no wrists, universally jointed hips, no ankles, and that's it. But, you know, like, that's what these little figures are about. They're not supposed to be super articulated or anything like that. They're just supposed to represent the figures at a smaller scale so that you can collect them, and it's easier to make play sets that scale with them. Because, you know, you can make vehicles and streets and things for these guys to run around on without them being too big and commanding too much shelf space. So in that regard, he does exactly what he has to do. So, yeah, the figure is just good looking. Yeah. And that's all he has to be. He is good looking. I love how he has his little sneer sculpt on his face. Like, his mouth isn't completely straight. You can see his lip is kind of bent like, you're a colorful bunch. Yeah. So everything about this figure looks fine. He is fine. He does everything he has to be. He's everything he has to be, and he doesn't hold anything back. Yeah. Also, now I have a nice 3D representation that I can reference so I can make a 4-inch scaled figure of Shadow. Yes, I've always been planning on making a 4-inch scaled figure of Shadow, but I want it to be totally perfect, so I've been holding back until I can get, like, these figures. Also, since they're not making a 4-inch scaled Shadow for this particular line, I have the perfect excuse to do that custom. But yeah, hopefully I'll get my hands on the 5-inch one soon. But until then, this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off on this particular series of videos.